Welcome back to One Guy, One Course, One Disc. We are here today in Macon, Georgia, checking out the Claystone Park Disc Golf Course. This is a 27-hole course. Let's go take a look. Hole 1 is a 195-foot par 3 that's going to go uphill 12 feet. The gap is at 150 feet and it's about 18 feet wide. But once you finish hole 1, hole 2 will be across the street to the left. Hole 2 is a 217-foot par 3. There's a Mando left at 84 feet, which is about 25 feet wide. And then it's open the rest of the way to the basket. It's a straight shot, but once you finish hole 2, hole 3 will be to your right on the other side of those trees. Hole 3 is a 222-foot par 3 that's going to go downhill 10 feet. There is a Mando left at 74 feet, but it's way off to the right and really shouldn't come into play. It's going to be 130 feet to get to the tunnel that leads to the basket. Once you finish hole number 3, hole 4 is going to be to your right. Hole 4 is a 185-foot par 3 that's going to go downhill 3 feet. It's a fairly straight shot. The only thing you have to worry about is this gap here at the end, which is about 10 feet wide. But once you finish hole 4, hole 5 is going to be behind us to the left. Hole 5 is a 170-foot par 3. It's pretty much a tunnel shot the whole way. This last tree here on the left is about 128 feet. But once you finish hole 5, hole 6 will be to your right. Hole 6 is a 219-foot par 3 that's going to go downhill 3 feet. You have a tunnel shot pretty much the whole way to the basket with the tightest gap coming in at 8 feet. So you definitely need to make sure that you're on your line. But once you finish hole 6, hole 7 will be behind us to the right. Hole 7 is a 167-foot par 3 that's going to go downhill 10 feet. It's 106 feet to this tree here on the right. Kind of sticks out into the fairway. And then the last tree on the left is at 150 feet. But once you finish hole 7, you'll find hole 8 to the right. Hole 8 is a 276-foot par 3 that's going to go uphill 8 feet. It's going to be about 200 feet, and then you're going to turn to the left to get to the basket. There are trees, as you can see, down the middle of this fairway, and then as you make the turn, there's another group of trees in the middle of the fairway as well. So hopefully you can get all the way through. But once you finish hole number 8, hole 9 will be straight ahead of us. Hole 9 is a 195-foot par 3 that's going to go uphill 20 feet. You got a tunnel for about 114 feet. That's about 9 feet wide. There is some open space off to the left if you want to try more of a hyzer or anhyzer type shot. But this last tree here on the right is at 114 feet. Then it opens up to the basket. But once you finish hole 9, hole 10 will be straight ahead of us across the street. Hole 10 is a 227-foot par 3 that goes uphill 12 feet. There is a Mando left at 44 feet. And then it's going to be 109 feet to get past all the trees. But once you finish hole 10, hole 11 is going to be ahead of us off to the left. Hole 11 is a 341-foot par 3 that's going to go downhill 24 feet. The first half of this hole is very wide open, but then 260 feet from the tee pad, you are going to have to hit a gap that's about 15 feet wide if you want to try and get close to this basket. But once you finish hole number 11, hole 12 will be downhill to the left. Hole 12 is a 256-foot par 3 that's going to go downhill 12 feet. You're going to need to throw about 130-ish feet, and then you're going to want to start to turn to the left to get to the basket that's poached up on this little hill. Once you finish hole number 12, hole 13 will be to your right, and then to get to the long pad, you're going to have to go to the left across the road. Hole 13 is a 277-foot par 3 that's going to go uphill 14 feet. You do have a Mando left at 79 feet. And then it's going to be 245 feet to the last gap that's just before the basket up here at the top of the hill. Once you finish hole 13, hole 14 is going to be off to the left. Hole 14 is a 409-foot par 3 that's going to go downhill 10 feet. It may seem pretty easy since it's straight, but this road does play as OB, especially because there is camping off to the right. But with the slope going down to the water, hyzer shots right to the left can be tricky. But once you finish hole 14, you're going to find hole 15 back behind us to the left, close to the water line. Hole 15 is a 377-foot par 3 that crosses the cove of this lake. It's 265 feet to carry the water if you want the straightest shot possible, or if you want to play it safe, it's going to be about 226 feet to carry the water. But once you finish hole 15, hole 16 is going to be to our right. Hole 16 is a 363-foot par 3 that's going to go downhill 4 feet. It parallels the water with the fairway and the green sloping towards the water, so you do need to be careful about your left to right shots and rollaways. It's going to be 287 feet to get to this lone tree here in the middle of the fairway. But once you finish hole 16, hole 17 is going to be to our left. Hole 17 is a 490-foot par 4 that parallels the water. You do need to be careful on windy days, as your disc can easily find the water if you throw something stable to understable. It's going to be about 253 feet to this tree here that's off to our left, and then we'll find the basket on the other side of this hill in this raised position. But once we finish hole 17, hole 18 is going to be to our right down by the water. Hole 18 is a 579-foot par 4 that parallels the water, but you do have a lot less space off to the left, so you do need to be a lot more careful. The shed here on the right is at 307 feet, and then it opens up a lot more past the shed. But once we finish hole 18, hole 19 is going to be to the left. Hole 19 is a 217-foot par 3 that's going to go uphill 23 feet. It's going to be about 150 feet. Then you're going to start to turn to the right to get to the basket. But once you finish hole number 19, hole 20 is going to be to your left towards the road, and then go down the road a little bit, and then the tee pad will be into the woods on the left. Hole 20 is a 313-foot par 3. It's going to go downhill 29 feet. It's going to be 122 feet to get to the start of the trees that sprinkle the fairway, making this a very difficult hole to get close to the pin. But once you get past these trees here in the middle, you'll find the pin tucked away to the right. And once you finish hole 20, hole 21 will be to the right across the road. Hole 21 is a 444-foot par 4 that's going to go uphill 8 feet in total. It's going to be 95 feet to the short pad, and then it's going to turn to the left. Then it's going to be about another 149 feet to get to the trees that sprinkle the middle of the fairway, and then it's just kind of weaving through these trees to get to the basket that's tucked away in between some trees. But once you finish hole 21, hole 22 will be to your left. Hole 22 is a 270-foot par 3 that's going to go uphill 17 feet. You have these 3 trees that come in at 132, 166, and then 196 feet. And then there is a gap that is 28 feet before the basket, which is about 12 feet wide. But once you finish hole 22, hole 23 is to your right. Hole 23 is a 302-foot par 3 that's going to go downhill 13 feet. You're going to about 206 feet, and then it's going to turn to the right. and then it's straight to the basket. But once you finish hole 23, hole 24 is going to be to your right. Hole 24 is a 150-foot par 3 that goes uphill 18 feet. It's a straight shot, but if you want the challenge, you can play to the very raised basket at the top of this podium. But once you finish hole 24, hole 25 is to your left. Hole 25 is a 310-foot par 3 if you go the straightest route. It's going to go downhill 12 feet. It's going to be 211 feet to get to the tree that's in the middle of the fairway. But once you finish hole 25, hole 26 is to your right. Hole 26 is a 415-foot par 3 that's going to go uphill 6 feet. The left side is probably the easiest route to the basket, not the route I'm going to be taking with the drone, but it's going to be about 229 feet to get to the trees, and then from there it's just doing your best to avoid trees. But once you finish hole 26, hole 27 is to your right. Hole 27 is a 302-foot par 3 that's going to go uphill 17 feet. Off the tee box, you have about 6 feet to work with, and then to this gap here, it's about 12 feet, which is at 116 feet, and then it turns to the right, where you have a little room to work with, but then quickly come back to a bunch of trees that block the basket. But once you finish hole 27, the parking lot will be straight ahead of you, or down to the right, or down up to the left, depending on where you parked.
Which one of y'all kicked me?
Now that you've seen the course, let's take a look at today's disc. It's going to be the Kastaplast, I don't know how to pronounce this, Idog, I don't know. It's a 7.5 minus 0.52. Let's see how it flies. Oh. No, that's that. Thank you. Oh, gosh. Oh, come on. Oh, too far.
on. No, that's not what I wanted. I'll take it. Oh. Oh. Miss that tree. Okay. Let's go. Get up there. Oh. Let's go. Oh, too high. Just sit and stay. Thank you. Oh, sit, sit, sit.
Down goes Frazier! Down goes Frazier!
Oh, frick. I don't know how to finish this because I can't even see the basket. Oh. I think that'll work. Now turn that over enough. Oh. Ooh. Oh. Oh, that's embarrassing. Try that again. Oh, come on. No, it's not the skip I wanted. Settle. Jeez. No. Ah. Come on. Oh, come on. Too high. No. I am throwing like trash on these last 9. Yes. Get out of it. Get out of it. Not bad. Gosh, put some power behind. Oh. No. Lucky tree kick. Oh, almost missed beforehand. So there you have the Kastaplast Idog at Claystone Park in Macon, Georgia. As far as the disc goes, it's actually a lot better than I was expecting. Definitely had a little fade at the end. If you did put it on anhyzer, it would hold it for quite a bit. So I really liked it. I would definitely suggest getting one. Flies a lot like a T-bird. or in Athena. As far as Claystone goes, it's a great park. Great mix of open, wooded. Kind of my only downside is a lot of the holes are close to the road or crossing roads, so it can be dangerous. A lot of people fish right on the fairways on some of the holes, like I think it's like 15, 16, 17, so you do have to watch out for people. But other than that, it's a great course. I would definitely suggest coming to check out Claystone. You are going to have to pay $3 to get into the gate, but it's definitely worth it. So until next time, off to the next course.